Hey guys, I hope you people are doing well. So welcome to this orientation session where we are going to be discussing about the result that has just been announced. To introduce myself, this is Luqman Rafiq. I'm the principal here at Scriber Academy, and I've been in teaching profession for more than 13 years now. Have been teaching different papers, including the financial reporting, financial management, the advanced performance management, advanced financial management, and the strategic business reporting. The objective of the session today is to have a discussion about what has happened with respect to the result, and to also discuss that how as a student you could overcome the failures in case if there have been. Plus, there are obviously a lot of students. Plus, there are obviously a lot of students who have actually been able to pass the examination. At times, what happens is that some of the students they don't expect that they're gonna make they're gonna pass, and they end up passing. Right? At times, you as a student think that I'm not gonna be passing, and you end up passing. So then, what happens is that planning becomes an issue. That what should I do now? What papers should I attempt? What paper should I opt for, things like that. So what we are going to be discussing today is that we are going to be taking you people through the different things with respect to the attempt that has recently been concluded, the result that has recently been announced. With me, we have got the fellow faculty members. So I would like to introduce each one of them alongside as we progress. So first of all, we've got Munir Shafi. Munir, if you could just give a short introduction of yourself, please.
Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone. Sir, I hope I'm clearly audible.
Very audible, very audible. Please proceed.
Great. So a very warm greetings of the day to everyone. My name is Munir Muhammad Shafi, and I am the facilitator for the subject of AAA at Scriber Academy. I'm a fellow member of ICAP, fellow member of ACCA, and I have been teaching this subject since last many years. Well, first of all, lots and lots of congratulations to all the successful students, all pass outs, and all affiliates. Lots and lots of prayers and lots of blessings for all of you to carry on your journey of success in the same fashion for the rest of your life. Well, for those who couldn't make it today, I know it's very hard. It's very hard to swallow this. It's very hard to get back on your efforts. But at the end of the day, you have to roar back. You have to put your best effort for the upcoming attempt. Get out of this state of mind as soon as possible. I know it's difficult, but not much time is left in the upcoming attempt. So obviously you can bounce back. You can give your 100% effort, and the definite success is waiting for you. So as the session will progress, I'll also throw some light on AAA paper. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Munir. Thank you for introducing yourself. Then we have got other faculty. We have got Kambar Raza. Kambar, if you could please have a short introduction about yourself, then we could go on to take the questions and have other tutors introduce themselves.
Sure. Assalamu alaikum everyone. I welcome you all on this orientation session. This is Kambar Raza, tutor for ETX and TX at the Scriber Academy. So I've been associated with the teaching industry since last 15 years, approximately more than 1.5 decades. So I like to congratulate all of the students who managed to pass their exams, and please, those who are not able to pass their exams, like it's not the end for them. Unsuccessful attempt is another opportunity to learn new things, to learn the failures of life, which is a norm of the life. So rather than taking it negatively, treat it positively, learn from the scratch, learn from your mistake to avoid that in the future. Important. Thank you.
Thank you, Kambar. Thank you very much for your introduction. I would like to have Mr. Ramiz Arain. Ramiz, if you could have a please short introduction about yourself, please. Yeah, that means you can unmute yourself.
Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, yes, sir. Very much, very much. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum, students. It's me, Ramiz Arai, your tutor of taxation and advanced taxation at Scriber Academy. And I'm also teaching these papers from last 15 years. Many congratulations to all the students who have passed the taxation and advanced taxation and every paper. And many congratulations to all the students who have passed the papers, and those students who couldn't, just don't lose the hope. Inshallah, in the upcoming event you will come back with the passing rate, or you will inshallah pass the exam with the flying colors. uh, there will be a bit misunderstanding to opt the paper normally by the students. Inshallah, if you will work on that, it will be better for you to get pass in the next attempt.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Ramesh. Okay, let me just give some sort of introduction, as a lot of you people would be wondering that we had Kamba Raza and we had Ramiz Arain both teaching the same subject. So yes, we have got multiple tutors for the similar subjects, and at times we have got bifurcations in the form of the language, that at times few tutors are teaching in Urdu language, few tutors are teaching in English language. So it's a complete package, and the whole objective is to give you one window solution, that is you're able to study through one platform, and you're able to actually undertake your studies. So we're going to be taking things forward, and we're going to be discussing further. Next, we have Zia Rana, and we have got Mr. Hussain Kazi also. In the meantime, I think I might have to actually restart my computer a bit. So Zia, if you can take over, please, because I think that my system is stuck a bit, so I might need to restart.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone, and I hope I'm audible to all of you. Can anyone please confirm?
Yes, sir, you are clearly audible.
Thank you, sir. Congrats from my side for the students who actually passed their exam, and the best wishes for the students who are not, who couldn't pass their exam, but there is always a hope for positive things, and I would appreciate and with the efforts which you have made, but unfortunately if you have not passed your exam, so please retry, because it's not the end of the story, and wishing you good luck for your next exam session. I'm in teaching industry since last 10 years, and my core teaching areas are financial reporting, taxation, and the advanced taxation. As Mr. Lukman told, that multiple tutors are there for a single subject. So myself, Sir Kambar Raza, and Mr. Ramiz Arai, we all are teaching same subjects, taxation and advanced taxation. Plus, I'm also teaching the financial reporting paper. That's all from my side, and now I would request Mr. Hussain Kazi to please introduce yourself, sir. Welcome, Sir Hussain Kazi.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I hope my voice is clear to all of you.
Yes, sir. It's
Can
very
anyone
clear.
confirm?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, students, first I wanted to convey my message to the students who are not able to qualify the exam. The very important point is that identify that particular gaps. First of all, identify the particular gaps. What are the particular reasons that you haven't able to qualify the exam, and just jot down the things for 3, 4, 5 core points. Highlight that points, and then move on for the remaining 45 or 50 days. Because normally the students appearing for the next semester not able to cope the things that what actually the gray area or the gaps through which he or she not able to qualify the paper. So identify the reason. It's a very core point. If you really wanted to success for the next or upcoming exam, that's important. And never lose the hope for the best always. Number 2, The students who have qualified the exam, congratulates, and move on for the next exam, and identify the actual examiner expectation for your next paper. Because ACCA studies includes two components. Number one, knowledge of the entire syllabus. Number one. Number two, practice the exam question according to the examiner expectation. So according to the examiner expectation, practicing the things that are the core item. Finally, myself here teaching since 2006 December. That's all from my side, and over to you, Zahra. Over to you, Zahra.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Actually, Mr. Lukman is just joining the meeting again, and would be sharing a file with the students, and would be discussing about today's agenda in very much details, and about the pass rates and the paper pass rates for September 23 exam session. In the meantime, I would appreciate, Sir Munir, if you please add on few points for AAA paper. In fact, the AAA paper pass rates, if you could please highlight the important points with respect to recent announced results.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir. As far as AAA paper is concerned, Advanced Audit and Assurance paper is concerned, if I shed some light on this paper. So I always say that this paper is amongst the core bread and butter paper of ACCA qualification and profession. Just like strategic business reporting, as the reporting subject plays a very pivotal role in accountancy qualification. So accordingly, auditing paper is very, very core paper, because ACCA is itself an audit regulatory body, is an audit supervisory body. So this subject, since this is the most advanced level paper of audit in ACCA qualification, so this subject is the finest blend of mature and professional drafting skills, IFRS knowledge, your auditing standards knowledge, everything. So everything is blended in this subject. An examiner usually tests the metal out of the students, and no student can expect that examiner will spare anything. So this subject requires in-depth understanding, detailed conceptual understanding, and a lot of practice. As the teacher recently emphasized on the need of practice. The only way to pass this paper is thorough conceptual understanding along with maximum practice. The passing ratio of this paper ranges from 31 to 34%, and I believe that this attempt as well, the passing ratio has been 34-35%, which is not amongst very good ratios. AAA passing ratio is considered amongst the worst ratios. Sometimes it improves, sometimes it deproves. So the main point is that students who are mature enough, professional enough, who take this paper seriously, pass this paper. And with the advent of skills marks, professional skills marks, I believe that this paper has got a bit easier for students to pass. Earlier, before the advent of these professional skill marks, students had to prepare for 100 technical marks. They had to manage their time for 100 technical marks. There were only a few professional marks, 4 professional marks. Okay. But now there are 20 professional marks. So students have to utilize 3 hours and 15 minutes for 80 technical marks. So time management has automatically got easier. Are you getting this? So what is lacking? What is the problem? Drafting skills is the problem. And the drafting skills doesn't contain auditing concepts only. These contain your accounting concepts as well. These both have to be linked up. Okay, your accounting knowledge has to be linked up with your auditing knowledge. There is a specific technique for every question. There is a specific pattern for every question to be attempted. As as Sir recently said, as Sir Hussain Qazi recently said, that you have to practice as per the expectation of the examiner. Examiner has given technique for every area, for audit risk area, for business risk area, for audit procedure, how you have to write audit procedure, how you have to think of the audit procedure. This is not a content, this is not a knowledge-based paper. You won't be tested your rote learned knowledge. You will be given a new scenario in every attempt. And you have to think in the examination. So what's the best way to practice? And those students who have not been able to pass this exam, I would highly recommend do attempt mock exam. Please do attempt mock exams. I've seen students, they don't attempt for mock exams. Only 20-30% students attempt their mock exams. And see, this is the passing ratio of triple 30-35%. So those who are interested in getting their mistakes known to them, who are damn serious about their preparation, they only can progress. So if you have flunked this paper once, twice, thrice, no matter, that's history now. You have to look forward. What you have to do? If you are weak at concepts, because many students, they know the concepts. If you feel you are weak at concepts, have the concepts refreshed. Otherwise, practice is the key to success. Practice is the key to success. And do attempt mock. No, I'm not only talking about AAA, every paper. It holds good for every paper. Get that mock marked by the tutor. You will get your mistakes identified. I've seen students, one of my students who scored 45 marks in the mock examination, and his real exam score was 73 marks in AAA. The reason? He got to know his mistakes. And what he did, he worked on those mistakes. He overcome those mistakes, and he got a whopping marks in the final examination. So that's not difficult. It's all about your seriousness. It's all about your dire effort. What you put in, you will get it. Sir Lukman, over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Munir. Just a second. Okay, I'm just going to share one of the slides, but before I proceed, I mean, there are a few things that I wanted to emphasize what Munir was saying. See, what actually happens is that, especially in these professional level examinations, I mean, like with respect to the fundamental level examination, you can pass even if you have not practiced a lot. But with respect to the professional level examination, practice is the key. Practice is the key. As a tutor, we do have a lot of commitments, and at times we are not able to respond back to students on time. So, I mean, like from the last 2 attempts, we introduced the concept of tutor assistants also. So what we have seen in this attempt is that I've got one of my teaching assistant with me also. She's from Ireland. She has also joined us. I'm just going to introduce her too. And what we have actually seen is that the number of students who submitted an assignment and got it marked over the course of over the period of time, they actually ended up passing. I remember one of the students, she was like, I've been studying this APM course for the last 3 attempts, but I've not attempted the paper. I said, what's wrong? Why have you not attempted the paper? She was like, when I prepare, I feel like that I'm not ready. I said, you see, when you will get into the micro details and when you will not practice the right way, you will always feel that you're not ready. So she had been studying for the paper for around 9 months or a year, and she had not been attempting the paper just because she was not comfortable. So we actually gave her some confidence, and then she started writing some assignments, and then Kiara actually started marking those assignments, and she actually passed 61. And to let you know, 61s are very, very good marks at APM level. Usually people get positions at this 61 level marks. So as a student, as a professional level students, if you will have to pass, I would strongly recommend you people to actually write down the questions, submit to our tutor assistants, every specific group, whether that be Hussain Qazi's group, whether that be Munish Shafi's group, whether that be Kashif Kamran's group, Kambar Raza group, Lukman Rafiq group, Zia Rana group, Ramid Arain group, the tutor assistants are there. They're there to assist you. It's just that unfortunately we don't actually come forward. So I would like to have a short discussion with Kiara. Kiara, if you could unmute yourself, we could have a bit of a discussion, Kiara. If I can have some questions being asked from you. And
Good
if it's-
afternoon. Good evening.
Yeah,
How are you?
Yeah, hi, if it's okay for you, if you could switch on the video also would be great.
Oh yeah. Oh God. The state of me, but okay.
Thank you, Kiara, for joining in. Okay, Kiara is from Ireland, and let me give you a brief background about Kiara. She did attempt APM paper once, and unfortunately, she was very unlucky. She couldn't make it. She got 49 marks, and then the next session, she actually practiced so much. She kept on submitting those assignments to me, and we had a regular discussion also. And believe me, when she attempted the paper the next time, I told Zia, I was like, Zia, she's gonna pass. I mean, I told him in Urdu, ये बच्ची टॉप करेगी अगर इसका पहली अटेम्प्ट होती है टॉप करेगी. I mean, I told him that she's gonna top, but unfortunately when you're a resit you cannot gain a position. Otherwise she was writing such amazing scripts, and it was just that she needed a bit of a direction, and she will give you a feedback as to what has, because you see, at times we are tutors, when we say, you people may not believe us 100%, but here is a student who has recently passed, and now she is actually assisting students to pass, and she would give you a background as to what has happened recently with respect to the students who submitted assignments and those who didn't. Yeah, please, Karen.
Yeah, I actually am not too sure. I have my camera switched on, but I'm not too sure if you can see me. Maybe it's not working at the minute, so apologies for that. But yeah, just to mirror what Sir Lickman had said, that I certainly noticed a massive jump, I think, from students that were submitting questions on a much regular basis. And in particular now for this December sitting, we have now started to assign weekly assignments. So there would be an assignment that students would be required to complete up until the Friday afternoon. Then I would try and mark it on the weekends to provide them feedback, and then they would take on board that feedback and then attempt then the next assignment. I've definitely noticed that students from their attempt in assignment 1 up until the assignment to date, you can notice such a difference in their answer structure and their exam technique, and that's from only practicing for a couple of questions. So I can't stress enough the importance of exam practice. It's really important with APM and getting into the examiner's mindset. So yeah, I just can't push enough to practice as much as possible. And even as well, I noticed that there can be some students that are actually panicking a wee bit, I suppose, too, that they're stressing and not too sure what way to approach things. And I'm also there, me recently being a student, I feel that I know how to advise them, and I don't know, maybe try and calm them down a wee bit. So we're here to offer a variety of support. So yeah, I'm here, happy to help where I can.
Thank you, Kiara, for the input. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. I hope that your input is going to be valuable for all of them. Thank you very much. If I could just, thank you, Kiara. Okay, if I could just move on to Sir Hussain Qazi, a very senior tutor with us. Hussain Bhai, if you can hear me, please, we can see you. Sir, what is it that you would suggest to students if they have to pass the SBR paper? What is it that you would suggest? Some few very specific tips for passing the SBR paper.
Thank you, Lukman bhai. About the SBR Strategic Business Reporting exam, the first very important motivation factor is that the passing rate is approx 50%. And if you observe since September 2018, the passing rate is still with the radius of 50%. So this is the highest motivation factor. If you can compare with the prerequisite paper, that is FR, that's about the 47% only. So the first motivation factor that whoever the student wanted to prepare and qualify the exam, 50% chance that you will qualify the exam, the first thing. Number two, Ukmambe, you already know that, and every student must have to aware about the professional level exams of the ACCA, that there are two important things required. Both variables are important. Number one, the knowledge of entire syllabus. Knowledge of entire syllabus. And number two, practicing the question according to the examiner expectation, means smart techniques. So both variables, both components are equally important. I must say SBR is the most extensive syllabus of entire ACCA journey. The most. Very time taking. You have remaining 45 days. So students must have to invest their time not only to cover the entire syllabus, but also practicing the question accordingly. Same case, not only practicing the question, ensure that you have covered entire syllabus. Third point is that, sir, what's the syllabus about? There are 5 components of the syllabus. Number one, IFRS, accounting standard, that's about 55 to 60% of the syllabus. Number two, conceptual framework that reflect the integration of the paper, it's 8 to 10%. Number three, the ethical module, that's 7 to 10%. Number four, performance measurement, investor perspective, that's also 10 to 12%. And the current development, that's 8 to 9%. And examiner examine the things in integration manner. So you have to cover the syllabus with the 5 components and practice the question according to the examiner expectation. So that's an important point you need to cover. What normally students do that, major time invest for SBR, just getting the knowledge. First mistake, not practicing good enough questions. So you have to invest your time equally. Or other side, the student only practice the question, not covering the syllabus entirely, ignoring conceptual framework, current developments, APM, and ethical module. Only focus on the accounting standard. So both variables are the important. Both variables. And number 3, for all professional module exams, including SBR, practice the question with the CBE format. 0% tolerance with respect to my students. I must say that 0% tolerance policy for manual practice. And if you want to practice with the MS Word or the Excel point, okay, do that. But first priority to attempt with the CBE format. And the last point, not to worry about new changes. The positive thing about the SBR new exam structure changes is that examiner has given more margin with the calculation content, with the group accounts. Believe me, it's something more advantage to the student as compared to before changes. So first exam has already occurred with changes, SBR with a pre-populated sheet. And the upcoming exam, examiner students become used to and the practice material available. You have to work out accordingly. Just get rid of the fear what the new changes has happened. Nothing the exam content, only the exam structure specifically to the group accounts. So these 4 points that's relevant to you.
Sir, thank you. Thank you very much for the input. We will start taking questions from the students also. But before I go on, I've got other faculty members also. If I can have Kambar, Sir Kambar, if you could talk a bit about the introduction of the professional marks at the ATX level. How would a student be able to cater to those professional marks, sir, please? Yes, sir, Kambar, can you hear me, please? Okay, there is a question from Eric, which is when are we expected to get exam practice question from you guys? Are we expected to practice as per the exam period? See, what happens is that when you will go on to the examination, when you go to the LMS, you would see 2 things. there are already exam questions under each of the topics. So when there are already examination question under each of the topics, so ideally speaking, you should be focusing upon practicing those questions first before you leap on to any other question. Because as a tutor, if we have gone through 5 questions out of 10 questions available in the past papers, so we know those 5 questions are important. That's why we have gone through them. So you should also focus first on those 4 or 5 questions and then leap on to the other areas, right? So that's what my suggestion is going to be, that because a lot of the students, what they do is that when they actually read through, this when they go through the lecture, they don't actually watch the videos which are covering the questions. So if as a tutor we have solved the examination question, that is part and parcel of the course. You just don't have to go through the content, go through the exam question practice also, because we as tutor teach a lot during that also. So that's important. Okay. Okay. Okay, Ramiz, if you could please hear me, Ramiz, if you could talk a bit about the TX paper, that what are the core areas of the taxation paper, and how as a student one should try to cover. Should they go through the Kaplan book, PPP book, which kit they should go through? If you could please give a comprehensive guide about them, please.
Lukman,
You're audible, boss.
can you hear me all?
I'm audible, please.
Okay. Let's talk about the passing ratio of taxation. I must say that this is one of the best passing rate of taxation I have ever seen in my life. That is 54%. 54% of taxation passing ratio. That is one of the highest passing ratio in skill papers. And advanced taxation, that is 46%. I must say that in both the taxation and advanced taxation papers, the student should focus on the past papers practice, because there are a lot of rules that they have to retain and they must apply into a paper. Most of the students make a mistake that they basically learn the rule, but they don't apply the rule in the past papers. They don't apply the rules, that how the examiner is asking that particular question. That is the basic issue, and that is the basic problem where the student faces the big issue to clear the paper. Most of the students who don't clear the paper and fail the paper on the last numbers, that is 46, 47, 48, the examiner report shows that they have the knowledge. Mainly examiner says that they have the knowledge, but they don't get the knowledge how to apply in the paper. That is the big issue. So I must say the students who are attempting taxation and advanced taxation in December 2023 attempt, I must say those students should focus to retain the rules. First, learn all the rules, because there is a very lengthy course in both advanced taxation and taxation. So first, basically learn the rules. Once you learn the rule, then try to apply in the past paper. You must know that how to apply those rules in the paper. So practice yourself as hard as you can. If you don't practice the paper, if you don't practice the past papers, so you will not able to clear the paper. And the main thing I must say that you should learn is the rules. Don't follow the study text. I'm teaching TX and ATX from last 15 years. And I always prefer not to go through the book. Don't read the book. Either it is Kaplan or either it is BPP. All teachers, including myself, give the summarized note. Try to focus the summarized notes, learn those notes, and try to apply those notes into a past paper exam. Try to practice more questions. As you practice more questions, you should get the knowledge that how will examiner will ask the question and how you should answer. That practice makes you more comfortable in the paper, I think.
Sir, thank you very much for your input. One final question with respect respect to TX, here there is a pass rate in front of you, all of you. And you could see that 54% for the taxation, which is
56% in June 23.
yeah, and 54% for the current session, which is the highest amongst all the papers. So like apparently it's the most easy paper to pass. Ramesh, if you could just give me one answer to with respect to the MCQ practice, that what do you recommend to students? Should they go through both the revision kits of Kaplan and BPP, or should they just focus or insist on one revision kit? What should they try to do?
For MCQs purposes, I always prefer to go with both the exam kits. Both the exam kits have a good material, good MCQs practice material. So I always prefer for MCQs purposes, section A purposes, okay, go with both the exam kits. Try to solve all the MCQs in BBP and Kaplan. But for section C, constructive response questions, I always prefer Kaplan exam kit. Try to focus the Kaplan exam kit. If you cover Kaplan exam kit, it will easy for you to clear the paper.
Sir, thank you. Thank you very much for your input. Okay. So basically, Ramesh, thank you for this. I would want to have Kambar Raza. Kambar, are you available, please? Can you hear me, Kambar? Okay. So,
Yes,
Zia,
I
you
can
can
hear
take.
you.
Yes, sir.
Apologies.
Sir. Please. Basically, I have had a question because one of the student was asking, which is that the last attempt was the first attempt probably when the professional marks were introduced for this ATX paper. So now
That was the second attempt.
it was a second attempt. Now what because the students, they want to know that what are the things that we should do in order to ensure that we are able to get the professional marks. So if you could just give a bit of a guidance on that, please, because you see, when the students, they are practicing, they are concerned that how to practice the professional marks. So is it that they can specifically learn, or what should they do?
So professional marks is not something which can be learned. So that can be, you can say, understand with the help of practice, with the help of examiner feedback. So the good thing about the ACCA qualification is before imposing anything, they'll give a lot of guidance to their students how to grasp this. So a lot of guidance is available at the ACCA front as well, like how to grasp this. Again, the professional marks are divided into 4 broad categories. One of them is professional acumen, professional skills, skepticism, etc., etc. So students should practice the questions like I guess Mr. Munir Shafi said, in line with the examiner expectations, or Sir Hussain Qazi, apologies if I'm taking the name wrongly. So we should practice the questions in line with the examiner expectations. So this will help us to learn how to grasp these marks. Again, they cannot be a single set of rules on how to grasp this. Every question has its own technicality, its own differentiation in nature. So the more we practice the question, the more we understand about the examiner expectations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So basically, if I could just sum up, you're saying that as a student, one should focus on the technical aspects first. And as you focus on technical aspects, the professional aspects are going to be covered on its own, right?
Exactly, that's correct.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Okay, so what I would actually want to do is that, Sir Ziarana, if you would like to add up anything, please. If you could shed some light on the
yes, sir. As Mr. Hussain Qazi also said, that students are reluctant to practice questions on CBE platform. And in fact, in today's world, if anyone want to pass ACCA paper, is required to practice as much question as he or she can on the practice platform. Normally what happens is that we remain in our comfort zone and we do practice questions in a normal manner as we have studied in earlier qualifications. But for passing ACCA paper, we are now required to do as much practice questions on CBE platform. Plus, ACCA Study Hub is a very good resource for quickly recalling the general areas, the basic areas, and the related practice questions, which are available in both the MCQs form and the long questions. So I would suggest students to also add the study hub questions in their preparation and studying while studying their paper, right?
Yes, thank you. ACCA Study Hub for sure is a very good resource that has been introduced by ACCA. And Munir, if you could shed some light on this ACCA Study Hub, please, the key features of the ACCA Study Hub.
I hope I'm audible.
Yes, yes, please.
Thank you, sir. So, surely, sir, ACCA Education, ACCA Study Hub, which has recently been introduced by ACCA, is a very key learning resource for their students. And what I believe should now be the primary source of guidance for the students. Because all the technical articles have been incorporated in that content. The basic examples, the advanced examples, and primarily the students' guidelines. Where when you go through the text, when you go through the content, so various places, the examiners' guidelines or the tutors' guidelines have been placed. That this will not be, for example, in a topic of leases, in financial reporting, it has been mentioned that the rate implicit in the lease will always be given. You will not be required to calculate it. So this has been given. So now the students do not need to worry about calculating the IRR of the lease. It will always be given. Similarly, the very concrete advices have been given at various places. Plus, as I told you, that it has been mentioned that all the technical articles till that date have been incorporated in the content. So if a student is making Education Hub or a Study Hub as one of their primary source of studying, so they are no required to refer the technical articles in that detail because all the elements are already there. Plus, the time management, very important. There is a timer going on when you are solving the question. So you can keep track of the precise time which you are taking to attempt the question. So it's a very good practice portal. It's a very good, lots of MCQs, OTQs are given there. So it's a complete learning hub for the students. Tutors should be referring a lot of material from Study Hub. Lots of practice questions, past attempted practice questions are there, additional practice questions are there. So as I've been telling my students that now the Study Hub, the ACCA Study Hub will gradually replace everything. So this will be now the primary source of reference for the students, for their studies, for the tutors to practice. And it's a very useful portal.
So thank you very much. And I would encourage all of you to please do explore it. But officially, ACCA is still accepting the Kaplan and BVP as the official content providers till 2024. But ACCA has developed its parallel product, which is ACCA Study Hub, and a very comprehensive and a very concise product. And you can access it through your My ACCA. Okay, now before we proceed further, I think the session is meant for you people. And we would like to ask questions from you people. So just in case if any one of you have got any questions, you can unmute yourself. You can ask the questions. You can type it down in the chat window. A lot of the students asked the question in the chat window. We did answer them. Okay, one thing, some of you were having a question that what exactly are included in our offerings that we do at Scriber Academy. So when you enroll with us, you get access to the recorded lectures. Plus, there are weekly live sessions for majority of the courses. Additionally, what happens is that we have got 3 different type of courses packages available. One of them is the ACCA Extensive course, which is covering the entire syllabus. The second one of them is a fast track course, which is covering around 70% of the syllabus. And the third one of them is a question-based revision package, which is just covering the exam question practice So all three of them are priced differently. So what you get in all three of them is what is depending upon what level you are at. If you are a first timer, go for ACCA extensive course. If you are a repeater, go for fast track course. If you're a repeater and you know that I know the content, I just need question practice, go for the question based revision package. Whatever the revision, whatever the package you're going to be adopting, you'll be getting the WhatsApp support, you'll be getting your assignments marked by the tutor assistants, you'll be still able to attend all the live revisions, live sessions, plus the free revision marathons that are going to be coming up. And plus you would also be able to submit your mock examinations and mock debriefs. So what I would want is that in case if any one of you have got any questions to ask, you're most welcome to ask those questions, please, because the more you ask, the better it is going to be. Yeah, Alan Kiza, Brian John, Cassia James, Motale, Prescott, Dr. Abdi Nasir. Eric, I think you asked a question and you have got an answer, right? You did not get the division of the package just mentioned. Okay, see, there are three different type of packages. One of them is the ACCA extensive course that covers the 100% of the syllabus. Then the second is the ACCA fast track, which covers around 70% of the syllabus. Then the third one of them is the ACCA question-based revision, which only covers the examination questions pertaining to the relevant subject. So you as a student can opt for either of them. All three of them have got a different prices, like extensive is the most expensive one. Question-based revision, since it only has got questions, is the cheapest one. But again, depending upon your situation, depending upon your circumstances, you can opt for appropriate course. Okay. Ayman Rizwan, please provide a guide for F8 and should a student read book as well for it? Okay, it depends upon with whom are you studying, because ideally speaking, with respect to F8, there are 4 important areas for the F8. One of them is test of control. One of them is risk management. The third one of them is a substantive procedure. And fourth is the ethics and the audit report. So 3 questions are compulsory from the substantive, test of control, and the risk management. So if you audit risk. So if you actually focus on these 3 areas, you're automatically done. So my suggestion is going to be, do read the books, especially for these 3 topics, and plus do ample amount of exam practice. Yeah, please, anyone having any questions, please, or any questions that has been unanswered.
Hi, Lukeman. I was just wondering, can I actually ask a question just on behalf of a couple of students that I've been chatting with, if that's okay?
Yeah, please go ahead.
So I think a few students are maybe a wee bit unsure just after having received their results on Monday morning about maybe what the best thing is to do in terms of a repeat, whether to sit in December or whether to leave it to March. And I was just wondering, would you be able to shed, I suppose, some light on maybe what would be expected in terms of, you know, like maybe how many hours and how much practice that would be expected of them for it to be useful for them to actually be able to sit it in December, or whether it would be better to maybe, if they don't have the commitment, I suppose, whether it would be better to leave it until the March exam sitting?
Okay, see, I would refer this question to Hussain Qazi, that whether a student who has attempted in the September and could not pass, should they attempt in December or should they go for March? But before that, I will answer the second question, which is that if they do go for December, how much time should they invest? So it depends upon subject to subject, because you see, for every specific subject, there is a different technique. You go for a AAA, there are some areas which you should focus upon. You go for AFM, there are some areas which you should focus upon. You go for SBR, there are few areas which you should focus upon. You go for APM, you cannot leave anything. You have to cover the entire syllabus. You see, so that's a different approach for the APM. So it depends upon subject to subject. So for that, what I would say is that every tutor is going to specifically, individually guide the students that what should they be doing how much time should they be putting up in case if they go for December attempt. But the second thing is, the first question that you ask, should they go for December or should they go for March? Hussain bhai, please, if you can.
Lubandi, I must say about that particular point, it depends that how much marks students got with this exam. For example, the students got the marks between 40 to 50. So it's a with respect to the ACCA, the primarily reason for the failure that's between 40 to 50. It's not about the lacking of knowledge. It's more about to handle the exam, the time management, smart techniques, the professional skill marks, all these things. But if the marks below the 40, that is some that's about something lacking related to knowledge aspects as well. So what I personally suggest that the student must have to meet the particular mentor or to have a one-to-one meeting, fix a one-to-one meeting for just 10 to 12 minutes and try to identify what is the reason. If the conclusion is that the students are not enough capable to develop the strategy or to develop the things that's like knowledge aspects, so that's 40 or 45 days are not enough to cope up the things with the knowledge plus the practice, especially who are not the full-time students. But if the students are means full-time students, they have ample of time to invest, then they can go for that. So it's totally depend on the individual situation of the student. So two things, that's about the marking and the availability of the time, all these things. And the very important thing, that the priority. What's the priority about that? So these are the aspects that I have covered the point about for these things.
Yes, and I mean, like I have got a slightly different viewpoint with Hussain bhai. I think that you see, what happens is that as a student, if you fail in an attempt and if you skip the attempt, so what happens is that after the next attempt, like if somebody has failed in September and if they don't attempt in December, for the March, they would be starting from zero. They would be going from 0 till 50. Right now, they might be going from 35 to 50 or 40 to 50. So I think that every student, they can easily know that where have they gone wrong. They know that they have not covered 100% of the syllabus. They know that they have a specific core area of the syllabus which they are weak at. So I think it's very important thing is that as a student, they should identify their weaknesses and work on the weaknesses and then try to attempt it immediately. Because you see, a lot of things could change. Your circumstances, your financial position, a lot of things could change. So maybe you're trying to skip an attempt. Might be possible that you might end up skipping 2, 3, 4 attempts, right? You never know. So just get it done as soon as possible.
That's great. Thank you so much both for your answers.
Thank you. Okay. Anyone else having any other question, please? Yeah, anyone else having any other question, please? Okay. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining in. Thank you very much, all the faculty members, for taking out time. So the admissions are open for the resit attempt for the December 2023. We are offering a flat 50% discount on all the courses for the December 2023. Plus, in addition to this, we are starting off with the resit orientation sessions. And these orientation sessions are going to be specifically for the resit students, where we would be guiding you that if you are a resit student, how you should prepare from now till the examination date. From there. So that's it from my side. Again, we're just gonna wait for 2 more minutes to see in case if anyone has got any questions, and if any of the faculty member would like to add up anything, you people are most welcome, please. If any of the faculty member would like to add up anything, please.
I wanted to add, Lokman bhai, related to the AFM. As you know that last exam of the AFM, examiner planted a deliberate question of 25 marks. That was so unexpected. Although that was very easy. That's about the ratio and the proportion. And that's become the cause of the students, huh? And the voice of the students, a shouted voice of the students, reflect to the overall WhatsApp groups and Facebook groups and a lot of things. Although the result of the AFM, it's good. It's about 45-46% still. But I must say that student at this point, student must have to prepare their exams in a manner that something may be expecting in the exam, which is not exactly the past paper pattern. Because exam means something examiner can examine other than the past paper. Because most of the students have a perception that if we have done 10 past paper, then we will face the examination hall the same paper as a past papers. No, you will face the examination other than the past papers. So past paper is actually provide you to make some experiments, get experience about what will happen in the examination. So once again, I must say that even the AFM paper or the SBR paper and whatever professional paper, you must have to prepare in a manner according to the examiner expectation. Honesty, that's 100% coverage of syllabus. Number two, examiner expectation. That's become the success of the exam. That's my point.
Yes, you're right. So basically 100% of the coverage is very essential. And that was evident in the AFM paper, where the examiner asked a simple question and it took everyone by surprise. Although it's a routine matter, it's not something that out of ordinary that came out. Anyways, any other faculty member, anyone else would like to add up anything, please? Okay, Habana Basinga, you can get in touch with us. We would just extend your access so that you could continue studying and be part of the sessions. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Thank you all for your time. So see you inshallah in the post-result orientation sessions. Plus, we are looking forward to welcoming you all for the post-result batches. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you.
Thanks everyone. Thanks for your time. Thanks for joining the session.
Most welcome, sir. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Allah Hafiz.
Very much.